"You're not welcome at Thanksgiving, Ray." My mother doesn't flinch when she says it. She doesn't even blink. She stands there in front of the fireplace like she's hosting a damn TED Talk, not exiling her own daughter from a holiday dinner. My sister, Brielle, smirks from the arm of the couch, swirling wine in a glass she didn't buy, wearing a brand new Gucci hoodie I know she didn't pay for. I haven't even taken off my shoes from work. I'm standing in the entryway, still holding my purse. "Family supports family," Mom declares. "You refused to co-sign Brielle's loan. $60,000, Ray. What kind of sister does that?" Nobody gasps. Nobody says a word. My dad sits in his recliner, arms crossed, face locked in that emotionless mask he always wears when he wants deniability. Only my cousin Daria, who flew in early from Chicago, looks stunned. We've always been close, and she's the only one in the room not pretending this is normal. But I don't argue, I don't cry, I don't scream, I just nod once and turn upstairs. And that shakes them more than anything I could have said. Would you have co-signed a $60,000 loan for your jobless sister? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if this twist caught you off guard. Because here's what they didn't know. I saw this coming. My parents always believed that because I lived in their house, my money was theirs too. My checking account, an open bar, my time, always available, my salary, a family fund. But Brielle, she hadn't held a job longer than 6 months in 5 years, always chasing the next big thing. This time, it was some startup yoga apparel line. She needed 60 grand to launch. They expected me to hand it over, no questions asked. "You've been living here rent-free," Mom said. "It's the least you can do." Except I wasn't rent-free. I paid half the bills, bought groceries, covered the utilities when Dad forgot again. They didn't see that, or they did and didn't care. That night I left, quietly, took my laptop, a packed duffel, and drove to the short-term rental I'd signed weeks ago. No note, no explanation, just silence. Thanksgiving came. They posted pictures, matching flannel, forced smiles, their usual performance. But what they didn't know, I'd already moved my direct deposit. Closed the emergency card they'd guilted me into opening in college. Transferred every dollar from the family buffer, account Dad insisted I help manage. Then I watched the show fall apart. Friday morning the text started. "Mom, Ray, what the hell is going on? My card just got declined." "Dad, did you move some funds accidentally?" Brielle, "Fix this. I have nothing in my fridge but condiments." I don't answer. I sip coffee on the balcony of my tiny second-floor rental. It smells like cinnamon and freedom. No stomping, no guilt trips, no sister stealing my shampoo and lying about it. Just peace. By Monday, their dignity started cracking. My mom showed up at my office, Starbucks cup in hand, pretending it was casual. "We didn't mean for you to actually leave," she says, like it was a bluff. Like the humiliation in front of the entire family was just theater. Then she tells me Brielle might move back in, that the utilities are overdue, that they're hosting people from church and don't know how they'll afford food. I ask her, "What does that have to do with me?" She stares like I've slapped her. "Good luck," I say and walk away. Julia, my cousin Daria's younger sister, calls the next night. The family group chat is on fire. Brielle's telling everyone I stole from our parents, that I took their savings and ran. She's spinning a tale of betrayal and abandonment. I say one sentence, "Let her prove it." Mortgage receipts, all me, groceries me, the car Brielle drove and totaled last spring, my name on that too, then it gets worse. Wednesday. Dad sends a long text. "We're really struggling now, just help us this 1 month." "No, how are you? Just, what can you give?" I text back. "I'm not coming back, not to the house, not to the accounts, not to the lies." His response, "You'll regret this." Maybe he thinks I will, I don't. Thanksgiving Day hits Asheville with freezing rain. I stay in bed until noon. Cook box stuffing and sweet potatoes in my own kitchen. Light a candle, watch an old movie. Then I scroll, photos, forced smiles. But there's no turkey, no wine, just store-bought pies. Julia texts, "They served leftovers and told people it was about sustainability." Turns out the whole meal came from a church donation box. Mom passed it off like a new tradition. I laugh because finally, the lies are catching up. Then the attacks escalate. A fake email to my HR department accusing me of embezzlement. 2 days of hell, meetings, investigations. I clear my name, but it rattles me. I lawyer up. Then Julia calls, furious. Brielle's been calling relatives, telling them I'm broke, depressed, lost my job, asking for donations to help me quietly. She's running a fake crisis campaign in my name. I file a police report, freeze my credit, lock everything down. Then I send Julia a video. I lay it all out, every receipt, every betrayal. I tell her to show the family. The fallout is immediate, but Brielle doesn't stop. She shows up at my door 2 weeks later with fake tears and a lease in her hand. I forgive you, she says. Just sign this so I can get a place. I tell her if she ever shows up again, I'm calling the police. The next morning, my mailbox is broken into, only important mail missing. I don't even need to guess. Credit alerts, jewelry stores, dealerships, someone's trying to open accounts in my name. Surveillance footage confirms it's Brielle. My lawyer files a cease and desist, sends it to my parents' house. Mom calls the next day from a new number. If you take this further, we'll be forced to fight back. War, that's what she calls it. Then I get a voicemail from my dad. You're being ungrateful. And that's it. That's the moment I decide to end it. January rolls into Asheville like a whisper you can't trust. Cold, gray, sneaky. I think I've done everything right. Locked down my credit, changed passwords, filed reports, set alerts. But these people, they're not climbing the walls I built. They're digging under them. It starts with a knock from my landlord, polite but uncomfortable. Someone sent an anonymous email, he says, said you're under police investigation. Fraud. That there's been violence. He doesn't believe it, but he has to document it. They're trying to get me evicted now. My own family. I walk back to my apartment in silence. Sit down at my thrifted kitchen table and start writing the full timeline. Every betrayal, every attack. From the fake HR letter to the mailbox break-in. From the donation scam to this anonymous smear campaign. And every thread traces back to one name, Brielle. They weren't trying to get me back. They were trying to ruin me. I call my lawyer, she doesn't hesitate. We're filing a formal protective order. It's no longer family drama, it's calculated sabotage. Then comes the final voicemail. New number, same voice, my mother, her tone is sweet poison. We got your cease and desist, we're heartbroken, but if you go any further, Ray, you're not just cutting us off, you're declaring war. That word again. War, they think this is war. I haven't even started. Later that night, Daria texts, check Brielle's Instagram. I do. It's a carousel post. Brielle on the porch of my parents' house, face downcast, hands clasped like she's grieving a national tragedy. Caption reads, I lost my sister this year, not to death but to greed. Dozens of sympathy comments, strangers calling her brave. Then Daria sends a screenshot from Brielle's alt account, a comment under her own post. She'll come crawling back. They always do. They always do. That's when I realize they're not trying to guilt me back. They're trying to erase me, to drag me down until there's nothing left of the version of me that dared say no. So I write one final message. Send it to both my parents. I am no longer your daughter. You are no longer my responsibility. Try me again and we'll settle this in court. Then I vanish. I take a job offer in Boulder, Colorado. Small city, clean slate. New address, new number, new everything. Only Daria knows where I go, and she swears on everything she won't say a word. I leave behind every key, every contact, every shared login, every trace. They still try, of course. A Christmas card shows up at my old P.O. box, no return address. A wedding invite with hope you'll reconsider scribbled next to my name. I don't open any of it. Because what they never understood is, I didn't just walk away from them. I walked toward me. Boulder is quiet, not just the streets, my life. There are no footsteps outside my door that make my stomach drop. No unknown calls at midnight. No screaming matches bleeding through walls, just quiet. I light candles in peace. I sleep through the night. I go days without touching my phone because for once it's not a threat. Until one Thursday afternoon. I get a text from a number I don't recognize. You ruined her life, hope it was worth it. Then another. You left your family in shambles for what? Ego. Both numbers are burner phones, I trace nothing. And then a package arrives at my old workplace in Asheville. The receptionist forwards it to my new office in Boulder. Inside, a single USB drive, no note, just a folder labeled RAES-SECRETS. It's empty, but that's the point. They're sending messages now, psychological warfare. My lawyer, Vanessa, calls me. There's a pattern here, she says. They're laying groundwork, trying to provoke you into a reaction. She advises restraint, but also preparation. We file for a civil harassment restraining order against both my parents and Brielle. It's time to bring this out of the shadows and into the court system where truth has receipts. Then Daria texts me something that stops my heart. Lauren's trying to claim you committed financial elder abuse. She's telling extended family you drained your parents' retirement. She sends screenshots. It's all there, fabricated texts, photoshopped bank screenshots, complete lies told in group chats I was removed from months ago. They're trying to flip the script, make me the villain, but they forgot I kept everything. Emails, bank transfers, texts, call logs, security footage, voicemails, I forward it all to Vanessa. Let's make this official, she says. Not just a restraining order. Let's sue. Then the final card gets played. I'm at work when the Boulder PD shows up. There's been a formal complaint filed against me for identity theft. Someone claimed I stole their personal information and opened lines of credit. I sit in a small room with 2 detectives. I explain everything. They don't charge me, but they do open an investigation. Because guess what? One of the stores involved in the fraud still had security footage. Guess who they saw on the tape? Brielle, wearing a wig, big sunglasses, but you can't hide smugness. Vanessa immediately files criminal charges for fraud, harassment, and defamation. We include my mother and father as co-conspirators because we have proof they knew. Court day comes. I walk in wearing a navy blue suit, my hair pinned up, calm as ice. They're already seated at the defense table, Mom, Dad, Brielle, all pretending like they're the victims. When the judge asks for my opening, Vanessa stands. She begins with, "This isn't about family drama. It's about years of financial exploitation, targeted harassment, and a coordinated attempt to destroy my client's life because she said one word." No, then we start submitting evidence. Screenshots, recordings, photos, bank records, security footage, every lie unraveled, every smear disproved, every fake story turned inside out. The courtroom is dead silent. By the end of it, Brielle looks pale. My mom is crying. My dad won't look at me. The judge doesn't need long. Restraining orders granted, damages awarded, formal criminal charges pending. The sheriff escorts them out. I walk outside the courthouse into the bright Boulder sun. My phone buzzes, it's Daria. "You just broke the curse," she texts. "You ended it." I don't reply, I just breathe. For the first time I feel it, not just freedom. Power. 2 weeks after court, the story explodes. It starts small. Someone from the courthouse leaks a copy of the restraining order filings. Local papers pick up the family fraud feud headline. Then a true crime podcaster finds it, posts about it on TikTok, and suddenly I'm everywhere. Daughter exposes her own family's $60,000 scam. Parents and sister charged in revenge finance drama. It's all over social media. Clips of me walking into court go viral. Someone captions it, "When silence becomes your loudest revenge." I didn't ask for fame. I didn't even want attention. But the truth has a way of shining through when you stop running from it. Brielle, meanwhile, doubles down. She starts a GoFundMe called "Help Me Rebuild After My Sister's Lies." But commenters aren't buying it. One writes, "Didn't you steal her identity, though?" Another posts screenshots from the court filings, every single one public record. The fundraiser gets reported and shut down in 48 hours. Then sponsors she once bragged about working with drop her. Her brand collabs vanish. Her influencer career gone overnight. Mom and Dad's church quietly removes them from leadership. Turns out even holy folks don't want their names next to felony fraud. I don't gloat, not even a little, but I do finally sleep. Then one morning I get a message from Daria. "You're trending again, check YouTube." A small documentary channel released a video titled, "The Thanksgiving Ban: How One Woman Escaped Family Financial Abuse." They use my name, but not my new city. They protect my privacy. The comments flood with support from strangers who have been through the same. People thanking me for showing that walking away isn't cruel, it's survival. I cry. For the first time, not from pain, but release. Then, in an almost cinematic twist, karma lands one final blow. Vanessa calls. "The credit fraud case against your sister? She took a plea deal." Brielle's been sentenced to probation, mandatory financial counseling, and restitution payments to me. Every month, she'll be reminded of what she did when she writes my name on that check. As for my parents, they sell the house in Asheville. Word gets around that the buyers found old letters hidden in the walls, financial records, notes, and emergency logs that exposed years of manipulation and fake expenses billed to me and other relatives. Turns out their retirement struggles weren't bad luck. They were greed in disguise. The documents get turned over to investigators. My parents vanish from social media soon after. Months pass. Spring comes to Boulder, bright skies, snowmelt, air that feels like forgiveness. I move into a small brick apartment overlooking the Flatirons, buy a used bike, grow herbs in a window box, make dinner for one, and for once it feels like enough. A letter arrives one day, no return address. Inside is a single photo: Brielle, Mom, and Dad at an empty table. No food, no smiles, just three people staring at the camera like they're waiting for something that'll never come. On the back, one line in my mother's handwriting: "You got what you wanted." I smile, because she's wrong. What I wanted was peace. What I earned was justice. And peace, unlike guilt, doesn't ask for permission. If this story hit home for you, comment "Peace is priceless" below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell me, would you forgive them? Or would you disappear too?